In this video, which is part 6 of creating the color scale and with a proportional scale, what we want to do now is we want to put the circle in here, then a bigger circle, or we have three different circles. So we need to reposition this first. So to do this, we're going to scroll down and go to our, not the color scale, but the proportional scale. And then in here, we're going to work with this. So we have the 100 by 100. So how do we get there? Well, what we know is that this here is the bottom of the chart area. So we can move it down a little bit. If I do this, bottom, save, refresh, there we are. So next what we can do is here, we know that this here is the right side, and then probably we need to calculate how much would be the right side. We say here right, and then maybe plus. Could we grab the layout? We can say layout dot padding dot right, and maybe we want to divide this by 2. That would probably be a very practical one. So if I do this, I'll be here somewhere in the center. So you need to look here, because here's the thing: if you have big circles, it might overlap. So you have to consider this. So what I want to do, because we're not here done yet, I don't want this here. I want to start here at the very top, bottom line. So I want to push this a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to push this a little bit up. How much up? Well, the radius defines basically the center from here to the center. 2 times the radius is like the full diameter of the circle. So what I'm going to do here is quite simple. We have here the bottom, and then we can just say here the radius of index whatever it is. So if I save that, that is of course not what I wanted to do. Put it in here, save. And what is this? This is an excess item. Alright, of course not. If I want to push it up, I need to do negative, not positive, or else it will go down. So in this case, alright, interesting. What happens here? Bottom minus thing. Do we get an error? No. Alright, so let me just play around again here. What happened? Did I delete something unintentionally? The radius? Let's say minus, let's say 100. What am I missing? Alright, that works, but then now I'm going to say here minus radius index 0. And then here, let's save that, refresh. There we are. Alright, apparently I just deleted some piece of code and we get an error, of course. So now we have this here. What I want to do is I want to do it for all of them. So what we can do here is, of course, the for each loop. So what I'm going to say here, radius dot for each, and then I'm going to say here for every radii and index, although I'm not sure if we need the index, but just in case, what I want to do then here is draw the entire shape. And maybe for the line width, the thickness of 1 is probably a bit more appropriate. Alright, that worked, but I want to grab the radii instead of the radius. Let's put that in there. Save this, refresh. There we are. That looks absolutely phenomenal and beautiful. So now we have this here. What is a nice color for this? I guess we can just say here CTX stroke style, and this can be you can make it gray, we can make it reddish. I'll just say here light gray and see how that will look like. That was very nice. So that's fine. So what I do need is, of course, the value. I want to put the value in here, here, and here. So how do we do this? And well, we need to test this with one more. Let's test one thing here before you even put in the value. What if I change the values of the size here? Alright, let's say here 1. Does it change? I can't even say. Oh, of course, this is already solid, so it doesn't matter. This would not matter, but here it will matter. If I say max size will be 70, save that. And as you can see here, it works, but with a consideration on the size of it. Alright, so that's very important that you need to consider the amount of padding you're going to assign to it. You could give it more padding or something like that. So I guess this will work nicely for now. Next video, let's focus on the text.